So, Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle are teaming up to defy critics before a sold-out New Orleans crowd. If y'all don't know what's going on, Joe and Dave are teaming up to destroy the so-called critics. This whole Dave Chappelle thing has been going on for quite some time, and people just don't know when to take jokes or criticism. And Dave, on the other hand, does not need to bend the knee to the community. It is obvious to me that he is winning by many. And it's obvious to me that no matter what people say about comedians telling jokes about gay people, they will find ways to make things even worse. Not just for the cancel culture, but the community itself. Those people, on the other hand, are real bullies. If they don't like the joke, why go to these shows? As Arsenio Hall said, loosen up, get and enjoy it. And apparently that's not what is going on to right now. That is definitely not what's going on right now. So let's hop into this. Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle came together before a sold-out crowd in the Big Easy Thursday, teaming up for a joint event centered on mocking their critics and defying cancel culture. I know that's right. Fans of both comedy stars filled the Smoothie King Center on the edge of New Orleans, French Quarter, with no intention to. He called for some to shut them over the recent controversies. The two faced a swath of criticism in recent weeks, stemming from Rogan's outspoken views against the coronavirus vaccine and in favor of certain treatments for the virus, and Chappelle's jokes about transgender people in his recent released Netflix special, The Closer. Now look, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna check it out in the future. I know it's really good than his documentary last year. So I'm definitely going to review that. So make sure you guys be on the lookout. Or I could just do a reaction and review of it if you guys want me to. Just let me know in the comments below. The star-studded lineup, which includes comedians Donna Rawling, Jeff Ross, and Tom Segura, culminated with both Rogan and Chappelle, while only appearing briefly on stage together, holding firm to their respective comedic styles and pressing forward with sharing jokes and views that originally led to them being targeted by critics. Don't we all know that before? Rogan, who appeared before Chappelle, joked that people shouldn't be taking his advice when it comes to the coronavirus and whether or not they decided to get vaccinated. He was seemingly rephrasing criticism he received from media outlets, such as CNN of all people, for expressing skepticism of the coronavirus vaccines on his podcast, as well as his use of the drug Information to treat his COVID case from September that are scared to take the vaccine. But at the end of the day, if you're not vaccinated, at least you could do is wear a mask and stay social distance. And if you are vaccinated, that's fine. But if you're doing things on your own, you could just have your mask off, walking a dog to the park or something, without talking to people close to one another. If they ain't got their mask on, that's all you gotta do is stay social distance. Because people gotta remember that it's still the pandemic out here. So I just don't understand why people get so mad about when people criticize a vaccine and whether they want to take it or not. But if they have COVID, they have no choice but to take the vaccine, fully vaccinated. So, and this is what he had to say. "This is my advice. Don't listen to my advice," Rogan said to the laughing crowd, citing his tendency to be canceled for the things he said, and so was Chappelle. He later ripped on topics like gender and homosexuality and race. See, this is what gets me canceled, he said. None of his jokes don't sound as good as when writing on paper. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty, y'all. Who began his routine by quipping he had recently made a lot of white people angry, appearing to reference the backlash against his transgender remarks. Specifically from some Netflix employees, a small number of them later participated in a walkout in protest of Chappelle's special. He joked his wife had purchased him over a rover after the release of his special because transgender people were trying to kill him. As if the community couldn't get any worse. Now look, here's the thing about the whole community as a whole. They will never appreciate a good joke when they see it or hear it. And whether they're funny or not of their own, if they can somehow take the joke, then there's no point of you trying to cancel a celebrity over something they say. Over one tiny thing. And you know what? I just don't understand what is the point of trying to explain to people about what certain jokes are. So why are you being offended over it? And whether his take is bogus or not, that doesn't mean you should get upset about it. But apparently, y'all just don't know when to take a joke. Because if you're offended, that's you. So it's not Chappelle's fault. Don't go transgender on me, Chappelle said later as the crowd loudly booed after he introduced one of his bodyguards as a former football player of the Dallas Cowboys. The Smoothie King Center sits adjacent to the Caesars Superdome, home of the New Orleans. When a fan later began chanting, "Let's go Brandon," Chappelle joked, "I'm not gonna have that S during my show." He claimed that no one should be saying F Joe Biden, but noted the laughter that President Joe Biden has been looking obviously frail. Look, I don't know why we're bringing Joe Biden into this, even though I don't care about politics, Trump or Biden. I just don't care about none of that. What I care about is having his career safe by these so-called critics and woke mob try to cancel one person over trans jokes. Get over it. Show by telling audience members if they saw a transgender person on the street, they should buy them a cup of coffee. And when they ask, why did you do that for them? He tell them Dave Chappelle says hello. Hey man, that part right there is how you end the show. Either they're woke with themselves being mad at Dave Chappelle jokes, or they're defending the comedian for being canceled for no reason. So I need y'all to let me know in the comments down below. If there's like a comedy show Dave Chappelle is promoting, would you still go and support him? Or would you be woke, cancel mafia, and SJW like you are? Cry about a one simple joke? It's your choice.